Thank you for joining me for the speed paint of Emakumea, which means deer woman in Basque. I have been thinking for a while of selling my old character designs, and since I feel bad for never using them, I made some redesigns of some of the characters because they were pretty bad. This one was okay, but I felt it would be nice to redo it anyways. I definitely place Paint Tool Style on top of my list for digital art programs, but the one problem I do have with it is that I can't find a way to place images. I know it is a drawing program, but I would like to be able to work from a sketch I drew by hand and scanned in. If you know a way, comment below perhaps. And basically, yes, the Paint Tool Style is definitely first place. Second place would be Photoshop, and Illustrator third. Illustrator is good for making vector art, but does not give you the actual drawing look and feel that Photoshop and Sci gives with their paintbrush tools. Vector art is very clean and nice, but this one gives it a bit more artistic feel to it. I had a bit of trouble with the feet, as you could see. It just wasn't really working out for me. I had a really good idea in my head, it just never came through, even in the final product. But otherwise, the rest of the drawing I find with the line art is turning out pretty well. This video is at 10 times the original speed. I had to create this drawing in total in two sittings, one for the drawing of the line art and the other for the coloring. It was a pretty large space of time in between, but school and work wouldn't give me a break so I could draw it. At my college, we didn't get a reading break, and I don't get a spring break either, so I apologize again, my uploads will not be that consistent. As you see, I used my usual trick of putting a color background in just so I could see where, if I missed any place for the coloring. Well, this coloring was pretty quickly done and a bit sloppy because at the end product I did miss some places where I forgot to erase or where I forgot to fill in. It still helped me a lot, especially when I get around to the eyes where I'm doing the whites of the eyes. Because again, I'd make this into a transparent PNG because I'm horrible at backgrounds. If anyone knows a good way to do backgrounds, if they've seen a tutorial that helped them, feel free to comment about that as well, and they'll help me a lot. Now, since this was a fairly larger piece of work, especially compared to my angel vector art that I've made a speed paint of before, the lighting isn't consistent, which is a problem I usually have. I blame the fact that I zoom in so close that I can't compare the light directions of the other parts of the body or the clothes or the fabric, whatever it is. I can't really see it. I can't really compare it. So I need to work on that, as you can see, and I hopefully in my videos that will be coming after, I will show more improvement. Speaking about future videos, comment if you want anything to be like as a suggestion for what I could draw next. It would be fun. It'll kind of help me out. Sometimes I get weird artistic blocks where I can draw, but I can't think of any good ideas. It'll be fun for me to have challenges as well. And hey, more likes, the more times I could do a video, because it'll help me my motivation. And even just comment below to say how I can improve. It'll be nice to have some feedback to help me bring more entertainment and artistic fun. Now I know this has nothing to do with what's happening in the video at the moment, but if you notice the butterflies, yeah, they get cut out at the end. They just didn't really look that good. I find that they just got a bit too cluttered. You'll see at the end of the video the end product and how I cut it out. They just weren't turning out well, and they kind of distracted from the main character in a way. They're just too big and too kind of chunky, which is strange when you bring into the fact that I'm talking about butterflies here. And as for the tools I used in today's video, I used a Wacom Intuos 5 graphics tablet, the large size. I really love it. It's one of my favorite tools. It's really big, and I probably don't use it the way it should, maximizing use of its largeness, but I love it anyways. It's so nice. And otherwise than that, in the program, I don't use a large variety of brushes. My basic ones I use is the sketch, line art, and color brush, along with the airbrush in the fuzzy static mode, and their eraser selection and deselection brushes, which are actually I only used first time for the selection brushes in this video, and I realized how wonderful they are, except for the part where I was working on the antlers and I was erasing part of the antlers, and one part, no matter how hard I worked on this selection. It just kept on leaving a blank area inside the antler, so I had to go around in a small little movements like you see at the moment. But otherwise than that, I really like it. It definitely saves me a lot of time. And as in the last video, I apologize for my narration. When I'm talking, I get flustered and go flubby basically with my voice. And I hope that the more times I do this, the better I'll speak. So it's basically also to help me in real life situations and stop being awkward when I talk, which happens a lot, which is not a good thing when you're trying to get out in the world and basically have a life, which I don't have still. This is the finished product. I hope you like it, and I think it turned out pretty well for considering. All music used were all from the Free Music Archive, available for commercial use. First shown was Suite for Violin, No. 7 by Bikini, played by the Advent Chamber Orchestra. Wind Quintet, Opus 67, No. 3 by Franz Danzig. Then lastly, The Night Path Reprise, Fernflower, and Closing, all from 15 Etudes, all by Peter Rudenko. This has been very enjoyable use of music for me, and it worked out quite nicely, and I recommend everyone uses the Free Music Archive. Thank you for watching my speed paint today, and this has been Painterly.